Hey guys, Nora my Messy here. I am going to start the video off with talking about my day because today I have been busy. I've been busy and it's been kind of fun. So basically let me explain. And Father's Day is coming up. It's next Sunday and so yeah, like Father's Day is coming up next Sunday. And so my mom had gave me money. Gave me money because my dad was going to the store, or she gave me money so I could go with him and buy $20 worth of Father's Day gifts. Now the thing is, we went to a store that's not the best. And what I mean is, the store itself is nice, but the location that we went to is not the best. We went to Walmart, or we went to one near super close to us, and it's not the biggest store, and so I'm kind of limited down to mainly food, mainly food and food, candy, that situation. And I was kind of down to that, or paper plates, eggs, toilet paper, paper towel, like paper bowls, and plastic silverware, and then also pans for baking, pans for baking, and normal body wash, hair soap, a little bit of makeup, and then not sample, but a clearance, bin, and then dog treats, and then trash cans, and trash bags, so and some cleaning supplies. So I was limited on my options. And so I couldn't do anything super nice, but I pulled through and ended up getting some stuff that ended up being really cool. I already gave it to my dad, and you're probably it's early. Well, the reasoning is, there's actually multiple reasons. Reason one, I'm an impatient person. And I am the one that I get so excited over giving gifts that I don't like waiting. Meaning, usually when it's getting close to my dad's birthday or something, when I get someone a gift, I usually instantly, want to give it to them right away. I usually want to give it to them right away. And so I was thinking an idea, and I was trying to come up with ideas on the way there on stuff that I could actually get him that he would enjoy. And I started thinking, and then I love baking. I love cooking and baking, and I like challenging myself with cooking and baking. So actually the reasons I gave my dad his gifts early is first reason, I'm an impatient person. I get so excited that I instantly just want to give him this. But also second thing is I knew it was a lot of stuff to hide. And third reason is some of it can melt. So I feel like putting it in a drawer or something in my bedroom, it might melt. And fourth reason is because I don't have dance today, and also I felt like it was gonna take a really long time to make. So that's why he got it today. So I went to the store, I came back with 3 bags worth of stuff. All of it is food related, except for one thing. The first thing that I gave him is I found like it's a thing of LED light strips for like $5, and I saw it and then went back to it. In the car, I knew I wanted to do like a cake, like a really cool cake. Well, he got cake. He got 2 cakes and cupcakes. So yeah. So I knew we had like the basic stuff here at the house. Like the basic stuff such as eggs, oil, milk, water, that whole situation. So he got cupcakes and a cake that were one flavor, and then he got a cake that was another flavor. So, and we had pans. So, first thing that my dad got was some LED light strip thingy. So I thought they would be cool because he had some like just basic white LED light strips in the kitchen, and I thought these would be cool color changing buns. And secretly, I have been wanting a thing in them for a while, but this isn't enough to like do my whole room and stuff. And good gift for my dad for Father's Day. Then the next thing that he got was a bunch of Reese's. My dad's favorite candy is Reese's. He loves the Reese's peanut butter cups. So he got a bunch of Reese's. And when I mean a bunch, I mean a bunch. And part of that is because at first I got him a thing, and then I was getting, like, my dad was waiting for me to, like, finish, and I realized I had some money left, so I literally, like, I knew where the Reese's were, went and just grabbed, like, a bunch, threw it in my cart, and bought it. By the way, like, my dad did not see any of this until, like, we got home and it was made, and stuff. But he did know how much, like, I spent because of the fact that he didn't look, but we put our items together and I just gave him the money because that way we wouldn't have to pay for tax twice. Because, like, it's because paying for tax twice, because he was also grocery shopping, like, it didn't make sense. So, yeah, and it made the most sense to just put the items together. I put all of the stuff up, and they put it in bags before he looked, and he couldn't see because it's in bags. Then the next thing that he got is a Sonic chocolate milkshake pudding mix. I thought that was gonna be really hard to make. I thought I was gonna have to like cook it over the stove. I saw it and went like, yes. I thought I was gonna have to like cook it over the stove, all of this, but I didn't. It was really simple and it took like, I'm not joking, it took like a little bit over 2 minutes of effort. And that's because literally it's just a powder, or it's like a powder, you put it in something, and you put it in like a bowl or something, and then you add like 2 cups of milk. And first up, I kind of came up on reading instructions with that, because it seemed to be kind of the same thing as another pudding that I'll get to. And so, truthfully, I wasn't sure on like the actual measurement, so I just did like a cup and a half, almost 2 cups. And I just mixed it up really well. And then I did another pudding, which was an Oreo pudding, and it was, you put the mix into like your bowl or something, you add 2 cups of milk, you mix it for 2 minutes, and then you just let it sit. and apparently you have to let it sit for like 4 or 5 minutes. So the Sonic one ended up being basically the exact same. The only difference is that the Sonic one specified to whisk it for like to beat it with the whisk for 2 minutes. The Oreo one it didn't specify. I just kind of was like, mix it. Both of them were actually very simple and very cheap. So like 99 cents for like a pretty good amount of pudding. He tried both of them. He had a good spoonful of both. He liked them both. I was nervous with the Sonic one because for a minute I mixed it a little extra because for a minute I thought there was still powder. So I gave it an extra mixing when it was made, and then it turned out fine. So yeah. Then I got some blue icing. It's I thought I got one that's easy to write with, but first up, that stuff can be kind of pricey, I feel. And when I think of that sort of stuff, I envision price being $1. And that stuff was $2. It was I feel like it was kind of pricey for just one thing of blue ice. And it wasn't even that easy to write with, but it was still cool. And then I got some Oreo frosting and Oreo cake mix, so he could have an Oreo cake, and which was really fun to make and very simple to make. I was expecting to need a lot of ingredients, ended up only needing 4 ingredients, and which is just the cake mix, which was the cake mix, and then eggs, and then water. It was literally cake mix, eggs, and water, and oil, vegetable oil. I thought it was going to require more, but I do love it. And I made 2 cakes because I was oh, I'm going to make a cake. That seems cool. And then they had so many flavor options, and my dad loved Oreo, so I thought that would be a fun one to try. And then we had to get the Oreo frosting to go with it. And then I actually put globs of Reese's in a Reese's candy bar on top. I just put random globs, and it turned out kind of cool. Cool. I don't know if that cake turned out any good or not, taste-wise, because he hasn't tried it yet, and the reason is I got him a lot of sweets, and he already at that point had, he had some other sweets, and he had 2 spoonfuls of pudding, because he had a spoonful of both kinds of pudding. We stuck them in the fridge so we could save them. Both of the puddings turned out really good. They were simple to make. And I wanted to challenge myself, and I thought, oh, making pudding is going to be challenging. It's not. It's not as challenging as I thought it would be. So I'm both happy and disappointed about that. Because I'm happy because it's simple to make, and it turned out good, and he likes them. But I'm kind of disappointed that it was so easy, because I like to challenge myself when it comes to cooking and baking, and not have it super easy. It's one of the things that I was expecting it to be harder to make. Thought it would be fun to do something harder, and then it ended up being really easy. Also, I was iffy on the Oreo pudding because when I was mixing it, it was the Sonic one. And I was iffy because when I was mixing it, and yet I had to stop for a second and so I could get a cake. Well, I think it was cupcakes. I was getting like cupcakes out of the oven. And you have to mix it for like 2 minutes straight, I think. But I ended up mixing it a little extra just to make up for that time. And it turned out good. It was a chocolate milkshake Sonic pudding. Didn't think that was a thing. Turned out it is. It's cool. Then, the Oreo cake turned out kind of cool. And then it didn't look the best. I'm actually gonna show you pictures. On the Oreo cake. Kind of. At Norm, the very terrible writing on it, it's supposed to say Happy Dad. And because he's happy when he's eating treats and stuff that he likes. But the blue icing that I got was not very, it wasn't great for writing. So it kind of just, you can kind of see the happy. But then it just looks like 3 blobs. And if you're wondering what all the like thick chunks are, that is the like Reese's candy bar. And then if you're wondering what the black stuff is, and it came with the icing with the Oreo frosting, and I think it's just mashed up Oreos. I have no clue, but it came with it then. Here's one thing of cupcakes, which I'll explain in a minute. Here's the other one. Now, the cupcakes I wasn't planning on making, but I was making a cake, and I realized it requires 2 pans. It's like a 2-layer cake. Well, we don't have 2 good cake pans. So the Oreo cake was made in a brownie pan. But it works. It works, it got the job done. And it's fine. It's just not like you can slice it like a cake, and you slice it like a brownie. And the one, like, good cake pan we had is when I was baking, like, the first cake. So, I quickly buttered, and I used butter, and buttered, like, a cupcake pan and just made 8 cupcakes instead of a second layer. And they were a huge success. My dad liked them. I used strawberry frosting that I bought. And I tried to pipe it with the piping bag that we have here. Because apparently we have some like piping bags and stuff. It didn't turn out the best piping job. But honestly, I don't really care about looks too much as long as he likes them. And because I had so much blue frosting, I put some blue frosting with it on top, so just to make it a little bit different. And 4 of the cupcakes have Reese's cups on top because he has a lot of them, and I thought that would be cool to make 4 of them different. And it is a strawberry cake. So strawberry cupcakes. And he hasn't tried the actual strawberry cake, but it's the same as the cupcake, and he loves the cupcakes. He even shared one, he gave my mom one, and she tried one and enjoyed it, and they turned out really cool. And I have never made a cake by myself. I have made brownies by myself. I have made cookies by myself. The last time I did that, they weren't the best, as they were kind of too salty and not sweet and stuff. Also, I followed up with a really bad, like, vanilla cookie recipe on YouTube, and it wasn't great. And so, yeah. But I never made cake by myself, and I was using a box cake, because making it from scratch, I didn't feel I was ready for that when I had never even made an actual cake by myself using a box recipe. And it's been a really, really long time since I even made a cake with someone, with a family member. And so I went with box recipes, and he can start. And then the cupcakes ended up being really cool. And then ta-da. This is my proudest creation. It's a unicorn. It's a unicorn. Unicorn. I saw a set to make like a unicorn decoration. So it's like a thing that has an already made unicorn horn, and then 2 unicorn ears, and then 2 unicorn eyes. And so I bought it, and then I made the cake, and I used the strawberry frosted the cake, and then I used the blue icing and made a little mouth, because I had a lot of it and it looked cool. And honestly, I have never, for my first time making a cake, this video is all about like what I did for my dad for Father's Day, that sort of thing. And for never making a cake, and the few times that I have made a cake with a family member, it was never something crazy. It was like, oh, we put frosting on it, and then occasionally we'll put like a couple like candy letters, like, oh, happy birthday, and that's about it. And maybe sprinkles. So like to make an entire unicorn cake, that turned out cool. They had a unicorn cake mix, but I went with the strawberry one because I'm not thinking about me. I'm thinking about my dad. I don't like sweets, so and my dad seems to like strawberry cake a little bit more than a funfetti unicorn cake. But it still turned out cool. It turned out cute, and I'm happy. And also, I grabbed something at like the register because I realized I had like a little bit of money left when I got to the register. And I thought I grabbed a Reese's, like, oh, just a normal like Reese's cup. I did not. I grabbed like it's a normal Reese's cup, but with a potato chip inside. It's like a potato chip Reese's thing. Don't know if he likes it or not. Hasn't tried it yet because he's had a lot of stuff. He's had like 2 cupcakes and then like 2 spoonfuls of pudding. And so far. And then later on he's gonna try the Oreo cake. The unicorn cake he'll try like another day or something. Because it's the same flavor and the same thing as the cupcake. And he likes the cupcakes and stuff. So I've been baking for literally hours and then cleaning it up. And it was a lot. It was a lot to clean up. And there were so many dishes from it that it didn't all fit in the sink. And we have like a normal like double like kitchen sink. What I mean by that is like 2 separate spots. And some of it was still on the counter because there was so much. But honestly, I chose to make the the video because I've been baking all day. And I have not sat down really much. Like, I have for like a little bit. I've been baking and I've been shopping to make sure I like get everything I was carrying back to the car. Well, actually, was putting bags in the car from the shopping cart into the car, and then I was putting away the shopping cart, and then like I getting home, and then bringing the bag inside, and then I ate. I had lunch, and then I started baking and stuff. Honestly, it turned out pretty cool. I'm impressed. And I didn't think honestly, I was like, I'm just gonna challenge myself. And so I challenged myself, and it worked out in the kitchen. And it was a lot of fun to not be baking brownies for once. What I mean by that is whenever I love cooking and baking, and I haven't the most I have ever really attempted on my own is some cookies and then a brownie. And so I haven't really and then donuts. But that was very simple. It was just some Pillsbury Doughboy biscuit dough. And then I just shaped it into donuts. I separated it, ripped it up and stuff, made it look like donuts, baked it, and then I took milk and confectionery sugar and mixed it and made a glaze. And then I put it on top of it, and it looked like a donut. It looked like a bunch of mini donuts. And apparently, according to my parents, it tasted like donuts. And then I made a glazed donut cake. I did the exact same thing, but I just made it into two things. So it's a cake that tastes like a donut, but looks like a cake. It's like a donut with glaze. A donut with glaze that looks like a cake. And it worked out. So I haven't really attempted anything other than and I make brownies and cookies sometimes. But other than that, it was nice to do something different and fun, and make some pudding, and then 2 different kinds of pudding, and then also make a 2 different cupcakes, and then to spend actual time opening everything, decorating things, making it look amazing. And don't worry, I am very safe about using the oven. I wear oven mitts. We have we have cooling racks. Don't worry, I'm very safe about doing that, and I will not get burned. And I'm very, very safe about doing that, and I have been doing it. For a really long time. But please do not use the oven at home unless you are an adult. Living on your own, or just the normal. Kids don't use oven at home without parents' permission, and make sure if you have parent permission, you are being very safe and wearing oven mitts so you don't get burned. And also, primarily, if you are a kid, it might be smart to have an adult watching you for extra safety. Or better yet, just have an adult do it for you. Yeah, so I'm gonna say peace out. Bye. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications.